Good morning, third graders. Welcome back to our Publishing Now, Publishing Party Part 2. Yesterday with Miss W, you all started on your digital book, and we're going to continue that work today. And in fact, we are going to try and finish designing our digital book today. So, just going back from yesterday, you should have already made a new presentation entitled your digital book. So a lot of you already did that and sent that over, and you made a title for your page, and you designed even your first scene. I'm going to give a couple of shout outs to some students who already did that. So this is from John in my class, and John, as you can see, made a title for his story. He said who it was by, part of TCN. He even put in an image here. Now, John actually went ahead and did the rest of his story, so he's going to be ahead today, and he might add in a couple images here to go along with his story. I'm also going to shout out another student. I really like this cover page right here. It's called Trust the Fire. This is by Leah. So I'm already intrigued by this image. And then Leah went ahead and started on the first scene as well. So awesome job to those students who got started. Good job. If you didn't already start, you're going to rewatch part 2 of the video to make sure that you know exactly what to do, because Miss W explained what to do very well. So we're going to move on to step 4. And step 4 is pretty simple. We're going to do exactly what we did step 3, but we're going to do it for all the remaining scenes. So I chose this photo or this picture because it's a picture of a scene from Magic Tree House. And I can really see how this image really was important to add because I can really picture what's going on in the story. Sometimes the illustrations do help us as readers. So you want to be thinking about that. How is the illustration you choose going to help your reader? Okay, so let's move on to step 4, and I'm going to do a couple examples from my story as well. Okay, so just like Miss W said, make sure you have your draft alongside in a different tab so that you can go back to it. I know that we left off yesterday with this part right here, so we're moving on to another scene. I'm going to go ahead and start with this, and remember that I can copy by doing Control C at the same time, but like Miss W said, I can also do edit and copy. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my slide presentation, and I'm going to go ahead and add a new slide. I can do that by pressing this little plus button. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and paste my text that I just did by saying edit and paste. And I'm noticing it's a bit too small. And you know what? I kind of think I want an image over here eventually. So what I can do is actually move this over so that there's room for my image on this side. And I'm also going to change the size of the font. I can do that by highlighting all of it and then going up here and maybe trying out, let's see what it looks like here. That's a lot better. Okay, just like Miss W said, I am going to add a title here, and I'm going to do that by centering it and going over to these lines up here, the align button, and then I'm going to press center so that it's right in the middle, which kind of looks good. So again, I'm thinking about an appropriate title for this part of the story. So I'm going to reread it to myself. You might read along with me because I don't know if we showed you all the part of the story, so you might want to read anyway. Oh, okay. And I'm kind of thinking about keywords that I'm seeing. Oh, sea levels are rising. Interesting. I might even talk about how in my title, I might just mention rising sea levels and wildfires. This is going to get my reader's attention. Oh, I want to put also chapter 2 in front of it with a little colon. Rising sea levels and wildfires. Great. Now, noticing that this is a part where I really want to add an image. So just like Miss W said yesterday, to add an image, you just have to press insert and then image and then search the web. So that means you can search right alongside. It's pretty easy. So I'm actually going to think about doing rising sea levels. I think that'll be interesting for my reader to see. Rising sea levels. I wonder, ooh, interesting. Okay, so I'm scrolling through, seeing what images might cross my eye. Interesting. Now I know this image might have to do a lot with climate change because a lot of the ice caps are melting, causing the sea levels to rise. So I do like that one. I'm going to click on it and insert. And let's see where it goes. Perfect. That's exactly where I wanted it. But it's not only that, it's also climate change is causing a lot of wildfires. So I kind of want to insert another image for that too. Notice how creative I can be throughout this process. I did the hard part. I wrote the story already. This is kind of the fun part that is allowing me to be really creative. So I'm going to do insert image, search the web, and then I messed up. Insert image, search the web. I'm going to do wildfires. I think that'll pop up an interesting image for. Okay. Oh, interesting. Honestly, a lot of these are good. I think I'm going to go with this one. Again, I have a lot of room for creativity in this process, which is really fun. Awesome. Okay. I think that looks good so far. So now, just like before, I'm going to move on to chapter 3. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole process with you because it's going to take a while for Ms. Klein and Ms. W to complete this, just like it will for you. But I'm going to show you one more example, okay, before I finish. So again, I'm going to press new slide and I'm going to go back to my draft. And notice I have a few more paragraphs to do. If you have a longer story, you might have more slides. You also might want to break up your story more so that it's into paragraphs if it isn't already. It makes it pretty fun and it makes it so you have a longer slide presentation, which you might want. So I'm going to go ahead and copy, edit, copy, and go ahead and paste. I'm going to show you the cool way, which is by pressing Control. It says CTRL at the same time as V is my paste button. And this time, I actually kind of think it'd be cool to have the image on this side. So I'm going to move it over just a little bit. Ooh, not too much. I'm going to highlight all of it to make it a bit bigger so it's easier for my readers to read it. Maybe 14. Yeah, that looks good. And now I'm going to reread, and this is an important step too. You're going to want to reread what you wrote so that you know what image to have and what title to add. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Aldo begins to realize that he is not the only one who is panicking. Some of his classmates stopped showing up to school because they were too afraid to go outside. At home, Aldo noticed that his parents were acting differently. They seemed nervous and scared to tell Aldo about what he already knew to be true. Just when Aldo thought it couldn't get any worse, he watched the news later that night, and the news anchor announced to the viewers that we were close to the end of the world. He explains that we have caused too much damage to our one precious earth, and we won't be able to survive as a species much longer. Aldo is terrified, but he knows that there must be a way to solve this problem. If only everyone could come together, he thinks, we might just be able to survive. So when I'm thinking about my image and my title, I'm thinking about this scene, right? So I'm thinking about what I want my reader to picture. I kind of want them to picture more trouble on the news. Because I want them to picture kind of Aldo watching the news and getting a little freaked out, right? And again, I keep forgetting, but I'm going to say chapter 3. And I like to center it so it's right in the middle. So I just highlight it and click in the center. Great. So now I'm going to search for an image. Insert, image, search the web. And let's go ahead and see. Okay. So insert, image, search the web. And I might say news, TV channel. But I know that's going to be weird if I do it like that. So I might say clip art because I want to see if there's any good images. And there might not be, but this is going to be, that's actually perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. There might not always be the best image, so you might want to search a few different things to find exactly what you're looking for. So I'm going to insert that. Oh, and it knew exactly where to put it. Great. So that looks really good, actually. It's honestly kind of all I need for that side. So as you can see, we are adding on and looking at our book right now, our digital book, it's looking really exciting and really fun to read. This is looking very professional. So here we have this first chapter, chapter 2, chapter 3, and we're going to continue that. And we're not going to show this whole process, but you get the idea that we'll be able to finish and go all the way up until the very end here. And then later, we might even choose to publish our second story. So your job today, the last step that you need to think about, is once you're done, you want to be able to share your story and celebrate. Now, we're going to be doing this throughout this week. We're going to be actually sharing during morning meeting some of your slide presentations, and you might be able to present to your teammates, which is super exciting. But you don't only want to just share with your teammates at TCN and your teacher, because you worked so hard on this and other people might want to see this. So what's cool about this, if I go back, let's pretend I finished. I didn't yet, but I can go here. And if you know anyone's email, maybe you have a grandma who has an email, maybe you have a parent or a sibling or an aunt or uncle who has an email, you can actually type them in. So I'm going to pretend that I'm going to type in my mom's email. Her name's Joanne T. Klein. Oh, look, it's already there at hotmail.com. So I would love, because I'm so proud of this work, I want my whole family to see this and see what I've been working on this whole time, especially during this time of distance learning. People are kind of thinking, oh, I wonder if even students are doing anything. Yeah, you are. Think about all the amazing stories you've written, and this is your opportunity to share them with the world. So you can do that, add in any amount of people you want to, and then just press send. So I'm not going to do that yet because I'm not finished, but I definitely will be sharing this with my mom. I think she'll love to read it. So this is really exciting, and just remember that we are going to be sharing some of your presentations. So really work hard on it. We really want to see some good effort. I love how many of you are already sending over your story, and we're excited to celebrate this with you throughout the next couple days. Okay, remember, if you didn't already get started on your presentation, please watch Publishing Party number 1, the first video that Miss W did, and then watch this one. Okay, best of luck. I know you can do it.